Oh, hey, hi. So we meet. I'm Adele. Very lovely to meet you. And I have been wondering, why on earth would you come here, sit and listen to me? You have all the reason not to. In these videos, we're gonna talk about confidence. So if you feel you're very confident, or that you know everything about it, or that maybe your parents do, you have no reason to be here. Or perhaps if you do feel a bit inconfident, you wouldn't want to come here and let everybody know that you're suffering from that and be singled out, right? Of course not. Anyway, I've been pondering why you would come and listen to me. Perhaps I'm pleasant to look at, or that my voice does kind of have a bit of mesmerization. Just joking. But why? Why would you ever really sit here and listen? All I can tell you is, in my growing up, I've experienced a lot of situations where I felt I was completely inconfident. And during those years, I was quite crippled and I had no one really to talk to. And I could not really manage my insecurities or my anxiousness. I tried to ignore it, basically, or just kind of think it's not there. But it does affect, and it has affected my life a lot, until I decided to not be controlled by it anymore, and therefore I changed my life around, different choices, and today I'm here sharing with you some of these experiences. Why? Well, simply because they work. And secondly, not because there's anything wrong with being inconfident. We're in this state sometime or another. Nobody is ever all confident from birth. So I don't see this as something wrong, and it definitely isn't a disease. It's not something that we have to be ashamed of and therefore hide. It's something that probably affects every single person, especially girls and women, maybe. But it does affect guys just the same. But being a woman, as you can see, I'm just gonna share about a woman's point of view and how as women or as females, we can look at this issue and empower ourselves in a simple way, basically. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some stories. And these stories, if you like to listen to stories, there are real life experiences that I have experienced, and somehow I have managed to gain some insights from them. So they're purely my experience, and they might not be exactly your experiences, but it doesn't matter. See if we can find something that relates or not, or maybe you just want to look at my smile. So anyway, we're here together, might as well just dive into it. Cool. I have this experience when I was around 17 years old, and I can recall my age because during that time I was actually studying abroad. So my birthplace is in Hong Kong. I live in Hong Kong, and I was studying in Scotland at that time. And I had a vacation 1 year, and I went back to Hong Kong to visit my parents. And in their house, I saw on the TV a commercial. This commercial was about a skincare product. And I'll just briefly share what I saw. So in the commercial, it's like, I think 2 or 3 young girls, young women, and they were basically just showing how happy they were, and their faces, or their skin rather, was just completely flawless. They had a milky complexion with blush, kind of a pinkish, gentle pinkish blush just coming through their cheeks, and they didn't have any pores, and their skin was just as smooth as a baby's bottom. And it just really blew me away, because it was very far from how my skin condition was then. At 17 years old and being sent to study abroad on my own, I was having a tough time, honestly. So I wasn't eating very well, I wasn't sleeping very well, and my lifestyle was not actually allowing me at that time at 17 to have a healthy body. I didn't have parents around, and so of course nobody could say when I sleep or what I do, because I was pretty grown up already. But my own choices wasn't, they weren't really capable of giving me a healthy body either. So of course, it reflected in my skin. So, and as well during that time, with hormonal changes, etc., I was getting some cysts and some pimples, and I was like completely didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to treat my skin, and suddenly it was like I had a lot of problems dawning on me, apart from just studying for school and getting used to a new country. So what I wanted to say also is, while I was growing up, the recognition that I got from most of the people around me was about my looks. Like, oh, you're a pretty girl. Yeah, you look beautiful. So when I realized that during that, I think it was a Christmas vacation, staying in my parents' house, watching that TV that afternoon, I realized the only one thing that I thought I had, kind of, something that I was proud of, my looks, was gone. My skin was yellow, very yellow, and sallow, very dry from not taking care of it. I didn't really use moisturizer at that time because I thought having cysts, I didn't want to add onto the oil. So I had no knowledge, about my skin condition, and I was too ashamed actually to go ask for any help. So I didn't really go to any kind of, therapist, beauty therapist. And I did had some experiences in beauty therapists, but I just felt they were very harsh and they were very critical. And being very sensitive, I was like, it was too much. Like, I didn't want to be criticized, because that critical voice I had inside of myself was already so critical. So I didn't need another person to criticize me any further. But anyway, what I felt was, oh my God, what I saw in that commercial is so far away from the reality that I was facing with myself, that I completely had a breakdown. I mean, seriously, honestly, I did. And from that point on, actually what I realized was, first of all, we can never really trust commercials. And you know what? Actually today, my job is the production of commercials. Ironic, isn't it? But at 17, I already realized that we can't believe in everything that we see in the media. We can't believe in most of the things at all because it's not real. It's not really truth. It is being made better, definitely. Yeah, how many people on this planet or have you met have zero pores? I mean, seriously, how many? Anyway, that was one point that I realized. But the second point, a more important point, is I realized if I compared with anyone in my life, meaning at 17, I compared my skin condition with the skin condition of those beautiful models in the commercial, I was gone. Any comparison would make me feel crap with a capital C-R-A-P. It was awful. It was awful. So I knew at that point that comparison is poison. I mean, as girls, we compare easily, our face, our looks, our skin, our body shape, our weight, our height, the size of our feet, even the color of our hair, the color of our eyes, you name it. As guys, maybe we would compare our weight, if we have acne or not, or if we're smart enough. But we all compare without realizing. But every single time we do that, we're actually inviting poison in our bodies. Yuck. No, I'm not gonna do that. But if we see somebody whom we think is better than us, great. Take inspiration from them. Yeah. If they look more pretty, or if they look more healthy, what would be something that we could change in our lives or in our lifestyle so that we can be the same? We always think, okay, looks are kind of what you get from birth or what you get from your parents' DNA. But it's not true at all. At 17, I had the same DNA as I do right now, but I looked very different. And how I looked different is completely my lifestyle choices, how I slept, how I ate, how I thought or think, how my thoughts are. Am I being critical of myself? Am I being accepting of myself? It makes a huge difference. Am I moody and depressed every day? Or do I beam joy and radiant confidence every day? It makes a lot of difference then in how we look. It's true. How you are inside is exactly how we will be on the outside. There's no shortcut. Therefore, I stopped comparing myself with people and I stopped being harsh and hard on myself. And this is how I am today. How it brought me to where I'm at today.